If you've spent the last few evenings scrolling through endless listings, watching video after video, and still feel that uneasy tug of maybe I'm picking the wrong windlass, you're not alone. A lot of boat owners hit that point where the choice feels overwhelming, especially when the gear you're looking at promises to be the ultimate solution for your anchoring routine. The truth is, the right windlass can save you a lot of hassle on the water, but the wrong one can leave you wrestling with a stuck anchor at the worst possible moment. That's why today's review is all about cutting through the hype and figuring out if the Lewmar ProFish 1000 is actually the tool that makes sense for your boat. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's set the scene. You're probably out on a mid-size fishing boat somewhere between 30 and 38 feet looking to upgrade from a hand-cranked anchor line that feels like a workout every time you need to set or retrieve your anchor. You want something that's solid enough for heavy-duty use, but you also don't want to end up with a massive piece of equipment that eats up deck space or requires a professional mechanic to install. The Lewmar ProFish 1000 positions itself as a freefall horizontal windlass, which basically means the anchor rope drops straight down through a guided slot, and you pull it back with a manual crank. In practice, that design is meant to keep the line from snagging on deck hardware and to give you a smoother, more predictable pull. Who should seriously consider this windlass? If you're a serious angler who spends a good chunk of the week on the water, especially in areas where you need to set a heavy 9/16" CH 3-strand premium anchor rod with a 5/16" CH chain, the ProFish aligns well with that setup. The included Spur gearbox is built for durability, and the fact that it's DIY ready means you don't have to schedule a marine electrician or a specialized installer. All you need is a common 12mm socket wrench, which most boat owners already have in their toolkit. That translates to a relatively low barrier to getting the system up and running, and you won't be paying extra labor fees that can quickly add up. Now, who might want to skip it? If you run a smaller craft, say under 30 feet, or if you primarily anchor in calm, shallow waters where a lightweight line and a simple hand winch do the job, the ProFish could be overkill. Its capacity is tuned for boats up to 38 feet, and while that doesn't mean it will break on a 28-foot vessel, you're essentially paying for a higher load rating you may never need. Likewise, if you're looking for a fully electric windlass that you can fire with the push of a button, this manual system won't meet that expectation. The ProFish is deliberately manual to keep costs down and to avoid the failure points that come with electric motors, but that also means you still have to crank when you need to retrieve the anchor. Let's talk about the practical strengths that actually matter when you're out at sea. The first is the freefall design itself. In real-world anchoring, especially when the deck is slick with spray, a traditional vertical windlass can let the anchor line swing sideways, potentially catching on cleats or railings. The Lewmar's horizontal slot guides the line straight down, which minimizes those side pull forces. In a few conversations I've had with seasoned captains, they noted that the line stays more organized, reducing the chance of a tangled rod after a long night of drifting. That can save you minutes or more in the early morning when you're trying to get back underway before traffic builds up at a busy harbor. The second strength is the Spur gearbox. While the term gearbox can sometimes be a marketing buzzword, in this case it's a simple mechanical advantage that makes cranking feel lighter than you'd expect for a system handling a heavy anchor. On a test run, a 45-year-old fisherman reported that he could retrieve a fully set 4-ton anchor rod with just a couple of turns per second, without feeling his arms burn out. That's a real benefit when you're anchoring in a strong current and need to get the boat moving quickly. Installation is another point where the ProFish shines. The convenient above-deck mounting means you don't have to cut into the hull or create a custom cradle. Instead, you bolt the unit to the deck's existing framing, which is especially useful for older boats that already have a lot of custom hardware. Because the kit comes with all the mounting brackets and the instructions are written for a DIY audience, you can realistically have the windlass installed over a weekend. The 5-year warranty that Lewmar throws in also gives a nice safety net, showing they're confident the gear will hold up under typical marine conditions. Now for the practical weaknesses, areas where the ProFish isn't as seamless as the marketing might suggest.